So hello again, everybody, with TheBallBlog.com. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Screencastify, which is the tool that helps me record my screen and my audio that you guys are listening to and watching to right now. So anyways, let's get right to it. We have Toronto and Indiana in this matchup, the 2 and 7 seeds. And before in the Cleveland and Detroit video, I was postulating what if Indiana and the Pistons flip spots in the standings. And I think that would be a much more entertaining matchup, not just Cleveland, Indiana, but also for Toronto, Detroit. And I think the Pistons do match up well and would have great upset chances, but enough with hypotheticals. Our matchup is Toronto and Indiana, so let's break it down. So of course, the conversation with Indiana starts with Paul George. Amazing comeback story after a gruesome injury sustained in, I believe, the Olympics it was. He sat out all of last season as the roster around him crumbled. David West gone, Roy Hibbert gone, Lance Stevenson gone. But he's returned amazingly. Elite player. Front office has built a new roster around him, and that is his story, and these are his stats. So Monte Ellis was supposed to be his beta dog, and he scored 19 points per game for the Mavericks last season. But many thought he would be in a great role as the second option on offense, but only 13.8 points per game. He's just not living up to expectations. And Paul George doesn't really have that sidekick that Indiana would need to take the next step. Of course, George Hill is still running the point. Tyler Lawson was a low risk, maybe high reward signing from Houston. They signed him for nothing after he was bought out. Nice move there. Ronnie Stuckey also in the backcourt. So the Pacers guards, they have a nice combination of scoring punch, of passing, scoring punch, passing, 3-point shooting. All that nice balance here, and then of course Paul George also on the wing. So to compare that with Toronto's guards, obviously we have Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, probably the best backcourt in the league, other than Curry and Klay Thompson. You could argue Lillard and CJ McCollum. Either way, elite backcourt here. And these stats just speak for themselves. They're efficient players. They're a dynamic duo. Very difficult to contain, both of them. They're fast. They can shoot. They can drive. They can set up their teammates. And yeah, maybe now these stats and this PER of this intimidating guy not looking so intimidating anymore. Toronto's got stars of their own, of course, and that's why they are where they are. Corey Joseph is backing them up, and Toronto does have a lot of nice depth in their backcourt, similar to Indiana. Terrence Ross and Damari Carroll at small forward, signed from Atlanta. He's healthy now, and he's going to be guarding this guy. I'm a little too obsessed with this photo. But yeah, Carroll, 3-and-D type player, 3-point shooter and defender. He's got a tall order in front of him to slow down Paul George. So the front court. So both teams, as I show you, excel in their backcourt and their wing. Front court is slight weakness for them both. They both have about average front courts. Here we have Ian Mahinmi, Miles Turner, Jordan Hill for Indiana. What they like to do is, I can't even call it small ball because George is huge, but they often play Paul George at power forward and shift in some more of their wingmen in there. Which is something they could definitely be doing in this series. For Toronto, Jonas Valanciunas, probably the best true big man in the series. Bismack Biyombo, Patrick Patterson, Luis Scola. Nice combo of defense, rebounding, outside shooting here a little bit with Scola and Patterson. Valanciunas can definitely score and rebound the ball. I'd have to give the slight edge here to Toronto's front court in terms of matching them up. So they've already played 2 games. The series is tied 1-1. This game 1 was a victory for Indiana as Paul George could not be stopped. 33 points. Carroll did not fulfill that tall order. Valanciunas actually dominated for Toronto. It's actually what kept them in the game, but he fouled out with 19 rebounds, 12 more than the Indiana leader. So that's definitely a plus. Toronto has been consistently winning the rebounding battle and the front court battle in this series so far, but Lowry and DeRozan just did not show up, which is very uncharacteristic of them. 25 points on 8 of 32 shooting. But the second highest score for Indiana was definitely much further back than 33 points. So the concerns about Paul George not having that beta dog are valid. And in game two, that was magnified. You see here, he had 28 points, still a very solid performance, but second highest was 15 points, third highest was 8. Um, he needs more scorers, and even again, we see Lowry and DeRozan not having a great night, but just the Toronto team that they built around their stars can carry them. We have Corey Joseph and Patrick Patterson stepping up. You're not seeing that on Indiana. These role players are not stepping up for Paul George. Valanciunas, another huge game, and the Raptors were just purely out rebounded. So I think, especially once Lowry and DeRozan get it going, which they obviously will, just being who they are, I think Toronto will be able to win the series handily, even though they've lost the home court advantage because Indiana's 1-1 in Toronto. I'm predicting a 4-2 victory for the Raptors. So comment, tell me what you guys think. TheBallBlog.com.